Hi, I'm Thea Lewis. I'm 31 years old. I live in New York City. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have mental illness. If I was to describe my life today, I think that I have a beautiful and full life. I recently engaged. I live with my partner and our dog. I'm very involved in my community, and I'm very proud of that. I still struggle with my mental health stuff. It never goes away. You know, it's night and day if you compare my life to what it used to be. My mental health journey, I guess, starts before I even knew what was going on. I'm neurodivergent, and I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was younger. When you're diagnosed with ADHD, and sometimes even when you're not diagnosed with ADHD at a young age, you develop the sense of the feeling that you're bad or they're doing something wrong. So from an early age, I had that belief just from being a neurodivergent person in a world that's not set up to accommodate that. When I started to notice things were going on was in high school. I decided to come to Skyland Trail because I was really close to giving up all hope. I felt like I didn't have any. I had left my job and I was feeling really insecure, and my life was getting smaller and smaller. It became difficult for me to even go outside. I had my boyfriend, who's now my fiance, and he said to me, "You need to do something about this. You need to get help. I can't stay here forever like this." I'm so glad that he said that to me, because that gave me the push to go. And even then, it was such a hard decision to make. I had the tiniest shred of hope. I lived in such intense shame for so many years, 24 hours a day. And there was this tiny, tiny, tiny shred of hope that said, well, maybe it can't really get much worse than this. When I think about my memory of Skyland, I think about a community that is so safe. At Skyland, everyone, including the other clients around you, are so invested in your recovery. Everyone there is your cheerleader rooting for you. And you're not alone. You're in a community of people who are going through the same hard things, who understand you. I learned so much about myself at Skyland. I learned about my values, how what I wanted in life differed from what I thought maybe I wanted or what my parents wanted. I thought about what kind of career I wanted to go into and how the career I had been in wasn't aligning with my values. Skyland was able to diagnose me with multiple mental illnesses. And while that sounds really hard and really scary, for me, being able to put a name to something was eye-opening. I'd struggled my whole life. I told people, I think I have PTSD. They might as well have laughed at me. So when I was able to get a diagnosis, a proper diagnosis, it put a name to the hard things that I had been going through that I felt so alone in. The biggest change I made in the resultant treatment is deciding to live my life without hiding. Before Skyland, I would describe my two main emotions as shame and self-hatred. Afterward, I would say openness and hope. One thing I'm extremely proud of is my sobriety. I got sober when I went to Skyland. I was able to admit at that point that I had an addiction to marijuana, and I'm so proud that I made that decision because I haven't lost anything by making that decision. My hopes for the future are endless. I don't limit the possibilities of who I am or who I think I can be anymore. What I want people to know about living with a mental health disorder is that it's part of you, it's not all of you. I am so thankful for Skyland Trail. When I talk to other peers who have also been in some sort of inpatient treatment, it's clear to me that Skyland is different.